Hi guys, welcome back to RhomanysRealm. I'm Romany and today we've got a spell box unboxing. This is the box for May, and obviously May being Beltane, I suspect there's some fire magic in here. I would be very surprised if they haven't put any fire magic in. So we've already done candle magic and basic meditation. In the second box, we learned to work with the elements and a little more complex spells, you know, introducing crystals, introducing herbs. So going to be interesting to see what we've got. Tells you a little bit about the box there. And all of the spells that are included are not just taken from a book or something. They actually, Terry and Julie actually are practicing witches and they do a lot of their own spells. So these spells are put together from their own knowledge or traditional spell casting or just things that have been handed down and all that kind of thing. They're not just, you know, open a Llewellyn book and off you go, which is always nice. Get a bit of personal stuff. Ooh, the list on it. Oh yeah, all fire magic, look. Protection powder, starting new habits, energy bag, adding spice to life, and a negativity spell. For banishing negativity, I would assume, not for creating it. So, ooh, gold paper, gold tissue paper. Ooh, getting spoiled. Nice. Let's have a look, see what we've got. So we usually get 5 spells. Here are our 5 spells. Let me just get them in the order, because they do go in a particular order usually. And as you would expect, lots of red and orange, because creation is fire magic. And this is all boosting energy, you know, Beltane stuff, basically. So first up we have protection powder. This is creating a concoction for yourself with pestle and mortar, which we actually had in our box but I think about 4 months ago we got the pestle and mortar. Here's mine. Beautiful, beautiful. And they sell these in the shop as well. So if you didn't get the box that got the pestle and mortar, you can purchase them online, and they're so heavy and, oh, beautiful. I love mine. So you grind up all your ingredients. We've got bay leaves, peppercorns, obviously fiery, cornstarch, dried grapefruit, and what's that? I can't see what that one is. Burdock? Yeah, burdock. There we go. So it gives you all the information about the different items there, and you're basically just mixing it together to create a visualization exercise to create protection powder. So it's very similar if you've done the kind of meditation exercises where you draw, a very common one is to draw lava from the centre of the earth up through your body and then throw it out into a circle around you. That's a fire circle of protection. This is very similar, but it's using an actual powder. So you could use that for your, if you cast circles or whatever, you could use it for that. So there's number 1. And we also have a spell to start a new habit. So again, energizing and getting yourself pumped up. I can't see because of the envelope what the spell actually is, but we've got allspice, which is, you know, firing yourself up again. Lemon verbena and carnelian again. So, you know, all the herbs and spices and things for getting stuff moving. Putting a fire under your butt, basically. So, very good. I like these. Of course, we are in a Mercury retrograde at the moment. So, although Mercury retrograde is my nemesis. It does have its plus points, and one of them is preparing for new projects. So if you're in that focusing stage, you're finishing off the old stuff, you're starting the new stuff, you're preparing for what you're going to be doing, you're pulling your ideas together. This is the kind of thing that you would be looking at to say, right, okay, I'm going to take up running for the summer. This is what I'm going to use to give me a little bit of a boost so that I start well and keep going. Just as a for instance. Okay, I talk straight off the top of my head. Okay, these are not scripted, I just, whatever comes to mind. So you tend to get my first thoughts on things. And I don't know why running came into mind, because I'm so not a runner. I'm a walker. Oh yes. Anyway, yes. Start a new habit, light a fire under your bottom and get going. But do it with focusing, ready to hit the ground running at the end of Mercury retrograde, because Mercury retrograde is all about wrapping up old stuff and planning for new adventures. Energy bag. Oh, it includes coffee. That's a good start. So we've got citrine and dried mint and ground coffee and orange something. I don't know if it's paper. Oh, it tells me here. Orange cloth, orange ribbon. Oh, and my nemesis, lavender. Lavender and Mercury retrograde are like, ugh, I don't get on well with either of them. Ah, it's a little bag of mojo, basically. I like it. So we're kind of into, this is interesting, we're kind of into my realm of psychological magic. I don't call it psychological magic, I call it headology. Because I'm a big believer in Granny Weatherwax from the Discworld. We take our instruction from many places. Her philosophy is very similar to psychology. I've done a video on it before. If I can find the link, I'll put it in the description down below. But basically, he describes it in the books as if you went to a psychologist and said, there's a monster chasing me, a psychologist would try to convince you that the monster doesn't exist, whereas Granny Weatherwax would hand you a bat and a chair to stand on. You know, so it's very practical. It's practical stuff for getting your head in the right space. You can convince yourself that things are going to work if you do it in the right way. Positive thinking and self-actuation and all that, you know, doing your positive statements every day, that kind of thing is this. That's what this is. It's just got fancy bits with it that help you concentrate. For a lot of spells, and this is something that I find people who don't practice don't understand. It's not that we believe that mixing all this together and sprinkling it around ourselves is going to protect us. The action of putting all this together and focusing your energy on it and sprinkling it around yourself is what creates a protective barrier in your mind. So you are more aware of bad energy coming in. Yes, there's psychic elements to it as well, and astral planes and all that kind of stuff. But at the very core, it's psychological. You are convincing yourself that you have created a psychological barrier between you and a negative stuff coming at you. So it's positive reinforcement, and that is what creates the magic, if you like. It's not, oh, this herb has magical properties of fire, so therefore that creates protection. It's not, it doesn't work like that. It's using herbs that have those innate qualities to create a focus point for what you want to create. If you use something that is not fire magic or fire endowed as part of a protection spell, it may not work unless it's something like lavender, for instance. Lavender is not a fire herb, okay? Its properties are protection though, so you could put lavender in a protection spell for a specific thing, because lavender purple, all that kind of stuff. It's air magic. It's psychological magic. It's psychic energy. So if you wanted protection powder from, say, a psychic vampire or something like that, you know, you've got somebody who, just thinking about them drains your energy. That is the kind of protection powder that might want lavender in it, even though it's a fire spell. This is more for physical protection and avoiding negativity. So, you know, you protect yourself with a ring of fire. I hope that makes sense. Like I say, these unboxings aren't to teach specifically. I don't teach witchcraft, but I'm quite happy to share the knowledge that I do have. And, you know, if anybody wants to chip in the comments and add to it, by all means do, because I'm still learning too. A real witch never stops learning. So your energy bag, lavender, what's it using lavender for? I can't see. Because it's a fire spell using lavender. Healing and calming. Right. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So lavender used in this spell for healing and calming properties. A lack of energy can be down to poor sleep as well as stress. So you've got all your firing things to create your energy, but you've also got your lavender there as a buffer saying, well, you know, don't forget, you don't want to just be fired up and drink lots of coffee. You want to rest and sleep well and calm down at the end of the day so that you've got energy for the next day. It's a cycle. It's a recharging cycle. Adding spice to life. Ooh. Quite literally, you've got cayenne pepper. Heating up for passion and things. Oh, and using runes. We've got runes in this one. And this is burning herbs, so literally fire magic. This is setting fire to herbs. And bits of paper and things. Not to be done under a smoke detector. Okay. If you're doing more than lighting a candle or some incense, please don't do it under a smoke detector. Unless you want to be deaf and evacuate the entire building and cause all sorts of problems. You know? Yep, so throwing everything in a fireproof bowl, writing on a piece of paper, using the runes to create... It's almost verging on warding and sigils. Putting all your wishes down on a piece of paper and then setting fire to it and releasing the energy into the wild. Classic fire magic. And, ooh, black candles. That's always interesting. Oh, negativity. Remove negativity from your bath, from yourself, bath tea. Now, it says tea, and I know that all his herbs and things are food grade. So if you're like me and you're not a bath person, I like showers. I'm a invigorating kind of water person, not a relaxing in water person. But there's nothing stopping you taking the edible contents, obviously not the salt, I don't think you'd want that, but you know, the lemon peel, the nettle, what else have we got, thyme, peppermint. You could put all that in a bag, the bag provided in fact, small bag and string, and make a pot of tea. I'm assuming that you're supposed to put all this in the bath and not make a cup of tea to drink in the bath. I can't really tell because I can't see. We are calling on the goddess. Negativity would be Hecate for black candles, I would think. It's very hard to see. What I've got a suggestion for Terry. I've just thought of this. You could put all the contents on one side and then put the spell here on the other so you can see it before you open it. That way you could store your spells together in a box and you'd be able to see what your spell is and read through what's in it, and then you've got your contents behind it at the back. How about that, Terry? Here you go. Boxing suggestion. I think this would make much more sense. I'm going to do this with mine actually, because because I've got all mine shoved in a box at the moment. I can't tell what's what because I can't see any of it. There you go. So you can do it like that. And it's like your little spice packs that your mum used to make. Did your mum used to make spice packs? My mum used to put things together so that we could cook dinner, and she'd have all this, and here would be all your instructions, and this is the amounts and quantities of everything that you need. Yeah, how about that? And then you could put them in a box. You could even use one of your boxes like this, maybe paint it or something, and stand all your spells up in it like that. I think that would be rather flashy, actually, with the gold thing. And then you can flip through and see what you've got. You could even take your papers out and highlight the name of the spell or colour coordinate it. So this is fire magic, so you could highlight these in red, or you colour these in red, or maybe not even do that, highlight this so it stands out and then colour your things round here in red. Oh, I'm full of ideas now. See, I'm all fired up already. I like that idea. Okay, I got a bit sidetracked there, sorry, but I think that's an awesome idea. So, yeah, for organising your own spells, you could colour code them and everything. Oh, I'm going to do that later. I've got so much to do today, I don't have time for these kind of ideas, but yeah, I think that would be great to be able to stack your spells up like that, put them in a box and be able to see exactly what you've got. That would be great. Obviously, some people are taking these out and putting them in their Book of Shadows, which is also perfectly fine. But I think for these kind of specific spells, it's almost worth leaving them in their original packs if you think you're going to use the spell. If you're not, then break it up and put the spell in your Book of Shadows. But I think if you're going to use these, which I think all of these I would actually use, because I do use protection powder anyway, and I think all of these can be useful. Yeah, I think you could break up the ones that you don't want to use specifically as they are, and then keep the ones that you do want to use like this. And you could even go through and write dates on and organise them for when you want to cast them. Just as an idea, you know. Okay, so off you go. Go and organise your spell cabinets. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!